Hey everyone, this is FaZe and welcome to my channel. I am super excited because I'm back again with another video on the Apple Vision Pro. This is a device that I've been using for over a week now and I absolutely love it. I've done an entire review on how this device impacts my remote work lifestyle and how great of a productivity tool it is in general. You can click the link above or in the description below to check it out. Now, obviously the Apple Vision Pro is a great device as a productivity tool, but not everyone might be looking at the Apple Vision Pro as a work device, right? A lot of people are going to be using the Apple Vision Pro in the same way that Apple is marketing it. For people who want to just watch movies and TV shows and surf the web and read emails and do video chats and play games, this is a great device for that. But you know another device that Apple was marketing quite heavily for quite a few years for those same tasks? The iPad. The iPad is a device that I absolutely love as well. And this is the device that I really use when it comes to doing all those key tasks. But let's rewind and go back to 2010 when Steve Jobs announced the iPad. He said the iPad is a device that basically stands in between the iPhone and the MacBook. And this is why he said it's between the iPhone and MacBook.
If there's going to be a third category of device, it's going to have to be better at these kinds of tasks than a laptop or a smartphone. Otherwise, it has no reason for being.
So Steve Jobs positioned the iPad as a device that needs to do those key tasks way better than an iPhone and way better than a MacBook. And the reason why is because back in 2010, the iPhone did not have the same capabilities and functionalities that it does now. For example, just the screen alone, it was a 3.5-inch screen back in 2010 when the iPad was announced versus now. The iPhone 16 Pro Max is rumored to have a 6.9-inch display, almost a 7-inch display. And the smallest iPhone in the market right now is still above 6 inches. And even that is supposed to get larger this year with the iPhone 16 series. So the iPhone has become kind of like a tablet for a lot of people. And it's great for watching movies and TV shows, right? Back then, this device was too small for playing games and, entertaining yourself. But now, it's a whole different story. If anything, it's a perfect consumption device more than ever before. And if you look at MacBooks, they've become a lot more portable. So then when you look at the iPad, I've been talking to a lot of friends and family, and it's not a device that they use as much as they used to, thanks to the larger iPhones and portable MacBooks. And when Apple announced the iPad, all the advertisements for quite a few years for all iPad generations was people lounging, relaxing, catching a movie on a flight, or browsing the internet in their living room on a couch, just doing those key tasks simply with the iPad. But if you fast forward to 2024 and you look at the way Apple is marketing the Apple Vision Pro, they're literally marketing it the same exact way. It's great for video chats, it's great for watching movies and TV shows, and it's great for playing games and catching up with friends and family, and maybe even getting some work done on it. But what stands out with the Apple Vision Pro is the complete immersive feel that you have when you're using that device, something that you can't get with the iPad. So Apple Vision Pro and iPad, both being marketed the same exact way. And like I said, with iPhones and MacBooks, the way that technology has evolved over the past few years, it's almost making the iPad stale. And Apple knows that. So if you look at recent advertisements of the iPad from Apple, they're very prominently showing the iPad now with the Apple Pencil and a keyboard because they're trying to make this more of a productivity tool than it was initially planned to be. And with the iPad Pro series, it's practically, for many people, a Mac replacement. Not for everyone, but for quite some people, it's become a Mac replacement. So Apple clearly knows that the market has shifted. The Apple Vision Pro, I feel like, excels at all those key tasks that Steve Jobs mentioned more than the iPad. Listen to what Steve Jobs said about the iPad.
It is the best browsing experience you've ever had, and you can manipulate with your fingers. Right there, holding the internet in your hands. It's an incredible experience. Phenomenal for mail. Want to focus in on a message? You can do that. It's a dream to type on. For photos, look at all your photos, flick through them. It's got to be far better at doing some key things like these.
Now you tell me, that experience that he's talking about, is it better on an iPad or an Apple Vision Pro? I strongly believe that that experience is better on an Apple Vision Pro. If I'm traveling and I'm on a flight, do I want to watch a movie on an iPad, or would I rather prefer watching it on an Apple Vision Pro where I'm fully immersed in what I'm watching? I would choose the Apple Vision Pro, and I feel like most people would. And for those individuals who are just lounging, they're chilling in their homes, they just want to put on a movie or something, they can watch it on a large screen device. Why would they watch it on an iPad, right? Or if they want to watch YouTube, which is now built into most televisions now, they would rather watch it on the large screen device over an iPad. Before, there weren't a lot of smart TVs in the market, so you kind of rely on the iPad for your streaming services, right? That has clearly changed. Now, why someone would choose an Apple Vision Pro over a television is quite clear: for the immersive feel. So if you're at home, I would much rather put on my Apple Vision Pro to watch movies and my television shows than an iPad. I would rather pull up Instagram or Facebook on my Apple Vision Pro to really see and immerse myself in that content than an iPad. And if I don't want to put on the headset, I've got my iPhone 15 Pro Max, and that does a pretty good job as well. So the Apple Vision Pro can be a great iPad replacement in the future. Notice I use the word can, because it clearly isn't a great iPad replacement at its current state. And there's two reasons for that. One, the price. The Apple Vision Pro is almost $4,000, whereas you can get an iPad, an entry-level iPad, for less than $400, especially if you go for a refurbished one. And even if you go for the high-end iPad Pro, that's still around the $1,000 mark, right? $1,000 to $1,500 mark, depending on which version you get. But that's still tremendously lower than the almost $4,000 that you're going to spend on an Apple Vision Pro. So price is one key reason. And the second reason is that right now, it is a little hefty. To watch a 2-hour movie in this headset, I'm not saying you can't do it, but it's not the best experience. And the reason I say that is because it's a little heavy and that can get a little uncomfortable. And plus, the battery life isn't that great. It's not that of an iPad at its current state. So I do believe that the future Apple Vision Pro, or even the non-Pro that might come out, will be a lot more affordable, and all these little nuances that are there right now will be alleviated. I'm not saying the second generation of the Apple Vision Pro will eradicate these issues. Maybe it might be the third generation, but I do think at some point in time, we're gonna get to that point where the Apple Vision Pro will be much more of a mainstream device, and you're gonna see tons of people wearing it, whether it's on flights or coffee shops or even at home. I would much rather use the Apple Vision Pro to watch a movie or a show than an iPad. If I'm doing video calls, I would love to be in my room just laying and FaceTiming my friends and family. The experiences that you're getting with a Apple Vision Pro is leaps and bounds better than what I believe the iPad. And also another thing I want to mention is that Apple creates a mainstream device and then they create a pro device. So for an example, the iPad, iPad Pro, MacBook, MacBook Pro, iPhone, iPhone Pro, AirPods, AirPods Pro, you get it by now, right? They have a mainstream one, and then they have a pro version of it that gives you better performance and specs. So what Apple did this time is they reversed the strategy. They released the pro version in the market first, Apple Vision Pro, and I do feel like in the next year or two, they're gonna bring out the Apple Vision, and it's gonna have a lot of the same capabilities and functionalities of that of the current Apple Vision Pro, but it's gonna be much more affordable, and it's not gonna be so specs heavy. But at the end of the day, I want to know your thoughts. Do you think the Apple Vision Pro or the future Apple Vision has the opportunity to replace the iPad? Do you think that makes sense? Do you think that's a bad idea? Whatever your thoughts are, leave them down in the comment section below. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already done so, and stay tuned for more videos. Till then, see you next time.